Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fraud Watch Friday, brought to you by AARP. My name is Ed Mickells, and I'm your Fraud Watch volunteer. And today we're going to talk about a situation that has just recently been showing up in the Midwest. It's a matter of great concern, and I hope that we can bring some important information to you today that you can use. As always, I want to provide you with an information on how you can gather more knowledge about everything I talk about today, or any other scams that you might come across. You can do this by contacting on the web www.aarp.org/fraud watch network. That's all one word. Or if you feel like you need to talk to someone to get some help, you can call 877-908-3360. That's a toll-free number, and these services are all free. There's never a charge to access this. You don't need to be an AARP member, and no one will solicit you to join the AARP if you access these services. In addition, today I'm going to provide a little bit more information that is going to be directly related to my topic, and that information can be reached at www.aarp.org/podcasts, casts with an S, / the perfect scam, and that's the perfect scam. And you're going to want to look to episodes 151 and 152. Now, this situation I'm going to be talking to you about, the reason why I'm concerned is because everything about it is perfectly legal, and it's technically not a scam. But the folks who have been subjected to it, many of them certainly believe that it is a scam. It was brought to my attention a couple weeks ago by a friend of mine who had a loved one that was approached by this and actually took them up on it, and now is regretting that she had done it. It started in Pennsylvania, and as I say, now showing up in the Midwest. It's known under a lot of different names, but for convenience, I'm going to call it the Homeowner Assistance Program. It works like this. You'll be contacted either by social media or by telephone, and they target people that are older or also people of perhaps more limited means, but who have paid off their mortgage and own their house outright. It's a real estate company that does this, and they will offer you anywhere from $300 to $900 for your immediate use. No apparent strings attached, immediate cash to you, if you agree to sign their agreement to allow their real estate company to represent you in any real estate transactions that may take place on the property in the next 40 years. When it happens, they will charge the regular rate of 6% that these companies use for these services, but you're bound to use them, and it will be used, will be used multiple times over that 40 years if you have multiple real estate transactions. So, what are you going to see here? Well, if you agree to have this, to talk to them about this, they're going to have someone show up, usually a notary, within 24 hours of you agreeing to talk to them. They will come in and provide the documents necessary to carry out this transaction, have you sign them, take them away, and then return them to you, countersigned by the realty company, usually within 2 to 3 days, along with the cash payment that was agreed upon. In the meantime, what they will have done is taken the fully executed agreement, to the county registrar's office or the county clerk, whoever in your county handles real estate transactions, and they excuse me, they will file this document against your deed. Depending on the county, as you may know, every county is responsible for its own real estate transactions, and they all have different rules. Depending on your company, this could be filed as an additional mortgage on the property. It might be filed as a lien. It may just be filed as a memorandum. But whatever it is, it will act as an encumbrance on your deed should you try and take any transactions. So as soon as a real estate insurance company looks at this, a title insurance company looks at this, they'll note that there is an encumbrance on the property that must be satisfied before the transaction can go through. And usually this would be satisfied by that realtor providing those legitimate services, pardon me, those legitimate services that you've contracted for. Now, you may not think much of this. You think, well, I'm going to have to use those services anyhow, right? But the kicker here is that it's going to go on for 40 years. That means anytime you refinance your loan, anytime you try to sell the property, anytime you may want to make some changes to the deed, perhaps adding or removing a spouse because of death or divorce, if you want to create a trust for your children or grandchildren, all of these are transactional points where the real estate company will come in, provide the services you need, and charge their regular fee of 6%. It might still sound good to you until you think about it and realize that for that $300 to $900 that you received, they are going to, say your house is worth $100,000, they're going to pull a $6,000 fee. And over the years, because over 40 years, your house is definitely going to rise in value, that amount is going to go up with each transaction. So if your house goes up to $200,000 or $300,000 in value over the 40 years, you can count on those transactions costing $12,000 to $18,000 each time you do one, depending on whether your house is worth $200,000 or $300,000. So it's a really good deal for the realtor. It may not be such a great deal for you. And as I said, it's all perfectly legal. Now, I'm told that on the East Coast, they're starting to look into the possibility of legislation to restrict these kinds of transactions. But so far, nothing has been done. Further, some people have tried to take the real estate company to court, but it hasn't looked good. As I said before, it's all perfectly legal as long as they provide the assistance that they say they will. Interestingly enough, because these transactions, because this transaction goes with the land and is filed against your deed, it more than likely could pass on to any buyer that you have over the next 40 years. That again depends on the county that you're in and how the laws are set up for that. It is an asset to this company, and if necessary, or if they want to, if they're going to go out of business or close up, they can sell this to a company acquiring their company, or just sell it as an asset that can be controlled by another real estate company. So there's really not an easy way out of this. So what do you do? Well, probably the best thing to do is take a hard look at this and decide if you really need that $300 to $900 that they're going to give you immediately, with the possibility that you'll be making these huge payments down the line anytime you want a transaction. That's first and foremost. You got to look at it as you would at any possible scam, is that you're getting free money, and if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Secondly, when they give you the rush to try and sign this quickly, resist the temptation to sign it, get them out of the way, and get the money. Ask to keep the documents. Ask to have time to review them with your family or with your attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you may also be able to get some help from a legal aid society in your particular county. Either way, it's a good idea to wait and not sign immediately. They may pressure you, but it's really in your best interest to wait. Beyond that, I'm sorry, folks, there's not a lot you can do once you've executed one of these. It's a legal document, and everything they're doing is legal, if not at least a bit unscrupulous. So watch out for yourselves. As always, I'm going to remind you, if you want more information on this or any other scam that I may talk about on Fraud Watch Friday, you can get it at www.aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork, all one word. Or if you want to talk to someone, you can call 877-908-3360. And as I said before, for this particular situation, you can get more information literally between the two installments, an over hour-long presentation on all the ins and outs of this that I couldn't cover today at www.aarp.org/podcasts, that's with an S, /the-perfect-scam. And as always, there is no charge to access this information. The phone number is toll-free, and no one will solicit you to join AARP while you access these assets. So please feel free to use them and protect yourself. To wrap up right now, I'm going to say, be careful out there, and we'll see you next month on Fraud Watch Friday. Thanks, and have a great day.